Now, I know you're not going to believe me when I say that I hated this next product. I loathed it. Hey there, gorgeous. I hope that you're having a great day. It's such a joy to see you. Today's video topic is all about drugstore makeup that I once hated, but now I love it and I use it all the time. While I am showing you this tutorial today, I want you to leave a comment below with the drugstore makeup that you initially hated, but now you love it, because I'm gonna be doing a video with your featured makeup products also. I already have an eyeshadow primer applied, so I'm going to apply a little bit of moisturizer to my face. This one is not one that I hated when I first tried it, but I was a little unsure of it, very skeptical, and that's the Honest Beauty Magic Beauty Balm. Now this is awesome stuff. It really is. I was a little concerned because I have an oily complexion, but I have dry patches around my face. And what I find with this is it is excellent for those little dry spots, especially like right here, around my nose. And it wears well under makeup. Like, you would never know that I was using a greasy balm on my face. When it comes to eyeshadow palettes, I typically don't change my mind. If I do, it's not often. But the one that I've started picking up a lot more recently is Wet n Wild's Nude Awakening 10 pan palette. I didn't really like this one the first few times I used it, because I felt like it was just a meh. I've really been gravitating to this shade right here. There were some questions about the eyeshadow that I was wearing in a recent video, and someone had wanted to know what the eyeshadow was. This was part of that look. It's a really light neutral brown, and it's great all over the lid, and I believe I combined it up with another neutral brown from the Rosé and the Air palette from Wet n Wild, but together they created a really beautiful smoky brown eye. I think I know what it was. It was just that the colors were not very exciting, and at the time I think I was really into a lot of colorful looks, and I'm just noticing I go through these phases where I love color and then other times I love neutral, and right now I'm like in neutral, so I gotta get back to color though, because sometimes I run across some of my older videos and I'm wearing this really beautiful purple smoky eye or this really gorgeous gray eye, and I'm like, oh, I have to do that. Next shade I'm taking from this palette is this one right here. And I'm going to apply that to the inner half of the lid. And then I'm gonna take this dark brown, not using much, and I'm going to apply that in that blank spot on the outer corner. And I'm not putting much on, it's just a very small amount, and I'm going to use what I'm applying to blend it around the eye. I'm use a new brush to do this. This is from What's Up Beauty. It's the R105. They just came out with a whole new set of brushes, and they are so soft and they blend so beautifully. Look at this. I'm just using those bristles to blend the edges of that eyeshadow. I'm not really applying anymore because there's nothing on the brush. That's one of my tricks for not over applying eyeshadow, is just putting it on the eye first and then using a blank brush to blend the excess around. You're probably not going to believe this, but the brow product that I absolutely despised when I first started using it, and you could probably find it in a video on the channel somewhere, was the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. Hated this one. I despised it because I didn't understand how to use it. But now I love brow pens. It's all I use practically. So I've gotten pretty good at applying brow pens. And so I just picked this one up probably about a month ago or so, when another one that I had dried out, and I was like, well, let me try it again. And I actually really ended up liking it, and the color is a great match on top of that, but the quality is really good. By the way that I completed my eyes was I took a little bit more of that brown right there and I used it to line the upper lash line. And with mascara, for me, it's love or hate. If I don't like you, I'm breaking up with you. You're moving out. I don't usually give second chances with mascara. So this is one that I have started picking up again recently that I really did like the first time I used it, and it's the Covergirl, the Super Sizer Waterproof Mascara. Now you're probably not going to believe this, but there's actually a pair of false eyelashes for my lash line that I was not crazy about when they first came in. And I was like, oh, this is a bad purchase decision, but they ended up selling really well, and I've grown to love them more and more. And that's the style Positivity. Aren't those gorgeous? I think what it was at the time was I was into those really big dramatic lashes. I went through a phase, you know, but then I came back to liking the shorter, more natural looking styles, which is why I started gravitating more to these. And so yeah, but they really are beautiful, especially with winged eyeliner looks. L'Oreal's Visible Lift Luminous Serum Tint. This is in the shade Rose. I could not, and I think it's because I didn't know how to use it. I'll just put it on the face so you can see what it looks like. It's supposed to add a radiant glow to the skin, and it is really nice. But if you're expecting coverage with it, you're not going to get that. It's just meant to be mixed with something. What bothers me about products like this is it doesn't even really tell you on the back what to do with it. Apply alone or under makeup. Okay, sorry. It does say. Some of us just don't read the package. So I'm going to mix it with the L'Oreal True Match foundation today, but it is beautiful. And especially if you mix it in with a foundation that has a little bit more of a, I don't want to say matte. It does look really nice when you mix it in with matte foundations, but if you have a foundation where you want a little more radiance to it, this is one of those great add-ons. And there you can see what I mean. It's soft, it's not too much, it's just the right amount. Now I know you're not going to believe me when I say that I hated this next product. I loathed it. And that was the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I know you're like, what? I totally did not like it. You know what it was? I applied too much the first time I used it because, as many of you know, this is a very pigmented concealer and you don't need much. I mean, this, right? You know, that much, that's all you need just for one eye. I mean, you could probably do both eyes with that. And of course, when you apply too much with anything, it looked horrible. I mean, not only after the application, but then at the end of the day, oh my gosh, it was terrible. So it was one that I literally pushed to the back of the drawer and I said, that just was terrible. I'm never going to try it again. A few of you had started recommending it and saying, this is my favorite. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I said, well, if that many people are liking it and recommending it, I'm going to go back and try it again. It's very hydrating. It lasts all day, will not crease, will not crack as long as you don't apply too much, but it's beautiful coverage. Oh my gosh, it's 2 a.m. here right now. I gotta get to bed. It's the only time I get anything done, I feel like, you know? I mean, I usually stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. just working. Yes, I have an unusual amount of energy. There weren't really any powders that I could say I truly disliked and then ended up liking later. They're kind of like mascara for me. Once I don't like you, I don't like you. But one that I really did like that I'm going to use today is the Physicians Formula Mineral Face Powder. Very pigmented formula. So you really don't need much. And this does add a filterized look to the skin. Is it gorgeous? There are two bronzers I wanted to mention. I couldn't pick which one to use because I really hated them both. But now I like them. I use both of them. Hey, why not? First one was the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blends bronzer. Do you remember this one? I don't even know if they still make these anymore. But when I first used this, But now, yeah, buddy. Now this was in the shade Sun-Kissed. And it could have just been the color for me at the time. Who knows? It wasn't the formula or the pigmentation because, I mean, as you can see, they're both really excellent, but I think it was just the color standpoint. Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Bronzer. I tell you why I didn't like this one. Because it has a highlighter built in. I couldn't get on board with that. But I pulled this one out very recently because someone had said, this is one of those makeup products that is much better than high-end, and I'd have to agree with you because the quality is exceptional. And even though at first I didn't like it, that it had a highlighter built into it, it is really pretty on the skin. It's actually kind of nice layering those. They look pretty good together. For the lips, I don't have any lipsticks that I initially hated and then started to love. But there is a lipstick color that I really did not like wearing that I've recently started to gravitate more to, and that is red. This is an old favorite. old favorite. Oh, classic here. Wet n Wild's Stoplight Red. I think they reformulated this. They definitely repackaged it because the original packaging did not look like that. They're almost doing like a whole Pat McGrath thing with their packaging here. I'm going to pair that up with the Milani lip liner in the shade Push It. I don't know if you can get this one anymore, but another great red lip liner. It is so quiet here right now that I can hear the alligators out back doing their mating calls. It is the freakiest sound you've ever heard. If you've not ever heard it before, look it up on YouTube. It's crazy, but it is one of those sounds that just, oh, yeah. That is a lipstick that I would absolutely compare with the higher end brands in formula, color. It is a universal red. If you've been struggling trying to find a red lipstick that flatters your complexion, this is definitely one to try. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to hang out with me more in the future, you are always welcome to subscribe. Don't forget to leave your hated initially, but now loved drugstore makeup products below in the comments, because that will be the next video coming very soon. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to watch. I speak love, peace, and joy into you and into your home, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.